Hello everybody, welcome. In this video, I want to share with you 4 levels of improvisation. Basically, a 4-step path to, a full bebop style improvisation, which really then will give you everything you need in order to go beyond that and use more techniques such as pentatonics, hexatonics, all kind of reharmonization, chord changes, and so on. The problem is that when we try to use those advanced techniques without a solid foundation and understanding of what we need to do in order to make a melody function and sounds good, and that we can recognize the harmony that you're playing. Okay, so 4 steps, a 4 step path, 4 levels of improvisation. All right, and I'm going to show you examples both on a blues and on a standard to show you that those techniques can be applied on any type of songs and actually in any style. Most of you guys watching this video are probably into the jazz idiom because that's the music I prefer. But those techniques are, you can use those 4 levels of improvisation in any style of music: rock, reggae, ska, anything. Okay, my friends. So the first technique, the first level is to play exclusively with triads. Okay, triads, it's the foundation. You have to understand and master the triads. That's why there's a complete class about this, daily exercises about triads. So check those out. So here is the first example on the blues, and then we'll talk about it. One, two, a 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so let's look at this example. As you can see, every time I'm using only the triad. All right, 1, 3, 5. Now I have freedom of rhythm and freedom of placement. I don't have a complete freedom of notes. I cannot play anything I want. I have to create melodies using exclusively 1, 3, 5 of the chords. All right, so that put me inside certain parameters. Okay, and I'm going to practice to develop my creativity inside those parameters. Now I do have freedom of rhythm. That being said, rhythm is really what's going to make all this work. So another class that is available on the website about rhythm to really develop your rhythm feel and your rhythmic creativity. So check those out because this is really what's going to make the whole thing work. Okay, so here, that's the triad 5, 1, 3. Now the key is also to voice lead. All right, so you see how here I'm voice leading E to F. And back to E. Also, you see how here I'm playing the full triad. Here I'm not. You don't have to play all the time all the notes. Okay, just here also I'm playing on only the third and the root. All right, so here when I'm playing the whole triad, and check this out, here I'm anticipating the F. So basically here I'm kind of already playing a minor 7. So you see how you can already have some harmonic variety, but you're thinking only about the triads. All right, keep it simple. Here what's really happening is that I'm anticipating the F chord right by a half step, and you can anticipate more. You can anticipate to a one quarter note, or even up to a half note. Okay. And again, there's a lot of ideas about this in the rhythmic consideration class. The triads, okay, so broken. Same thing here. You see how I'm voice leading here. So, the C is common between F major triad and C major triad. And so basically here, I'm really playing the all arpeggio of A major, F major 7 with the ninth, right? Over those two bars. But again, I'm just, I don't really take this into consideration. This is a result of what I'm doing, but I'm just thinking F major triad, C major triad. That's all I'm doing. Sorry. Anticipation again of the G7 and anticipation at the end. All right, so that's the first example, triads, exclusively triads. Now we have to be comfortable with our triads in all positions and be able to anticipate the harmony. All right, so again, a lot of exercises about this in the course about the daily triads exercises. Okay, let's look at this, the same idea, but now let's look on the first 16 bars of Out of Nowhere. So I'm going to play that for you. One, two, one, two, three, four. All right. So again, exclusively playing triads, 1, 3, 5 of the chords. Now I have more harmonic activity than on the blues, and so that gives me a little more options and interesting voice leading. But again, the rhythm, you got to be creative rhythmically, and you have to be strong. Strong in your ability to anticipate the harmony. All triad, a little bit of anticipation, very common to anticipate, by a half beat. Triplets, a little more rhythmic activity. The triad broken. All right. Anticipation. All this is just triad. Triad. All triad, as you can see. And anticipation again. All right, so level 1 is the triad. Now, even with that, my friends, you can go pretty far. If you are advanced, harmonically, you have knowledge, you can already go beyond that with only the triad. For example, let's go back to the blues. And here, you may know that very often we can use the tritonic substitution, which would be G flat 7. All right. So I'm going to practice here playing the G flat 7. And all I'm going to do is, I'm going to demonstrate that using the same rhythm, but just playing the G flat triad. So from the top, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm I'm sounding C7 altered because I'm simply playing the G flat triad. But again, I'm thinking in terms of triad. Now, that being said, you can practice, you can play any triad. All right, let's try. Let's say, okay, so I did my C major triad. Let's try D flat. Sounds pretty good to me. All right, so I'm creating tension, but I'm resolving with a good voice leading A flat to A. Okay, let's try with the D major triad. Okay, so this one is a little funky also because rhythmically I'm kind of repeating this A. So maybe if I do that already sounds a little better. All right, that works. Let's try E flat. Sounds great. Let's try E. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so this one is also a little funky because I'm playing this B natural. All right, so it's a little out, but in the continuity of my line, it does work. All right, maybe I could do. All right, so F. All right, it's a little bit too much of anticipation to my taste, but it does work. We did G flat already. Let's try G. All right, so this one is it's a little weak. All right, the voice leading is not the best, but again, because rhythmically we're strong, all those triads are going to work. Some better than others. Some you will like more than others. It's also when you choose. This is you. You are the boss. You choose what you like and what you don't like. Okay, let's try A flat. That sounds pretty good. Maybe I could do. That would sound better. That's a better voice leading here. All right. Let's try A major triad. So here I would go to C natural. I would change my resolution note because I want the C sharp to go down to C natural. Because otherwise, I'm going to have to repeat the A, and as we know, this is not the best melodic choice. All right, let's try B flat. That sounds good to me. B flat major triad. And finally, let's try B major triad. Not bad. Again, the B natural is a little funky, but hey, nothing's wrong with a little funkiness. All right. So why does it work? Because the major triad is always going to be very, very powerful. Second, because it's inside the continuity of a phrase. Okay, and rhythmically, I'm strong, so this will make it work. Okay, so that's a little parenthesis to show you that the triads, you can really expand your language harmonically, but keeping the material simple. And believe me, this is what we do. You can make things very, very complex, seems very complex, but why? When you can just make the thinking process as simple as possible, But if you really master it, you can do anything you want. And as I hope this was obvious enough as a demonstration, I played each triad chromatically, and most of them were sounding pretty good. All right, and some are sounding out, and this is what we do to play out. You got to play outside the key, but you have to master it and play, like melodically strong and simple material. Okay, so that's level one, just the triads, and we saw that we can actually go pretty far out with only the triad. Let's check out the level two.